Our Father who art in heaven. Words echoed in churches, whispered at bedsides, etched into memory since childhood. But what if I told you this wasn't just a prayer? It was a battle cry, a divine blueprint, not for quiet reflection, but for warfare, spiritual, strategic, supernatural. When Jesus gave us these words, he wasn't offering comfort. He was handing us a weapon, a master key to unlock heaven's authority on earth. Yet millions recite it with no idea what they're truly saying. Today we tear back the veil. We'll uncover the hidden power behind every phrase and reveal how this sacred prayer was never meant to be routine, but a revolution in how we engage with the divine. What if I told you that hidden within the most recited prayer in history lies a spiritual battle plan designed to transform your very reality? The prayer you've spoken since childhood, perhaps mumbled half asleep or rushed through before dinner, was never meant to be a religious checkbox. In the hands of Jesus, it was something far more powerful. In churches across the world today, the Lord's Prayer echoes from the lips of millions. It adorns the walls of homes, inscribed on decorative plaques and framed artworks. Yet for all its ubiquity, this prayer has been stripped of its intended power, reduced to a comforting tradition, rather than the revolutionary force Jesus meant it to be. Think about it. When was the last time you truly felt something change in your spirit when reciting these words? For countless believers, this prayer has become like a familiar song, played so often that the lyrics lose their meaning. The words flow automatically, but the heart remains untouched. This disconnection stems from treating as ritual what was designed as relationship. To grasp what Jesus was doing when he taught this prayer, we need to step back into his world. In first century Judaism, prayer was ceremonial warfare. Fixed times, specific bodily postures, and carefully memorized recitations formed the backbone of Jewish prayer life. Pharisees would pray loudly on street corners, believing their public demonstrations proved their devotion. The outward performance often overshadowed the inward connection. People measured devotion by precision, not passion. Then Jesus arrived and shattered these expectations. When his disciples asked him to teach them to pray, they expected instructions about proper techniques and formalities. Instead, Jesus offered something radically different, a framework centered on intimate conversation with a Father who cares. Are you one of those people who recite the Lord's Prayer without realizing its true power? This prayer functions as a battle plan, a strategy for direct alignment with heaven. Every phrase Jesus included was deliberately chosen to address specific spiritual battlegrounds we face daily. The constant anxiety that keeps you awake at night, the bitterness that poisons relationships, the fear that paralyzes your decisions. The tragedy is that most believers have been holding this spiritual weapon without knowing how to activate it, speaking without understanding, and therefore praying without power. Consider what happens when you transform your approach to this prayer from meaningless repetition to meaningful relationship. Your entire spiritual life undergoes a radical shift, from duty to intimacy, from obligation to conversation. Prayer becomes the lifeline it was always meant to be. Each component of the Lord's Prayer addresses a specific spiritual challenge. Our Father redefines our very relationship with the divine. Give us this day our daily bread teaches a lifestyle of daily dependence. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, reveals that our own forgiveness and ability to forgive others are inextricably linked. Understanding the Lord's Prayer, as Jesus intended, creates a genuine pathway to connection with God that transcends mere religious performance. It's about heart-level engagement with the one who created you. Jesus offered this prayer as a framework for relationship, not as a formula for religious approval. The journey from spiritual disconnection to vibrant intimacy begins with recognizing that these familiar words contain power we've never fully accessed. We've journeyed through each line of this ancient prayer, and now a profound truth emerges. This is your battle cry. When you truly grasp what Jesus was offering in these simple phrases, prayer transforms from ritual to revolution. You engage in a dynamic living experience of faith that satisfies your soul's deepest hunger. Take these words today and speak them with intention. Feel their weight and purpose. Watch as heaven responds when your prayers become declarations of renewed life. This moment, when ritual transforms into relationship, is what your faith journey has always been building toward. Let this prayer become your revolution,